What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Throtl YouTube channel. My name is Quinn. I'm here with Ricky, and today we're working on our Honda S2000. We've been making a lot of really good progress with this car, and we got some more parts to go on today. To start, we have a set of Recaro Sportster CS seats. These are going to be a very nice upgrade over the factory seats. They are recliners, they do fold, and they do all sorts of trick stuff, and they're going to be a very beautiful component to add to the interior. What else do we have for the interior, Ricky?
So we have a Spoon Sports full roll cage for this beautiful car, and it's going to match our Spoon Sport body kit. And yeah, pretty soon I'm going to start stripping the interior and throwing this thing back in there.
We also have a few parts going on the car from Hybrid Racing. We have a short shift kit for the Honda S2000. That's one of the things we've been missing, getting back on the car to get this thing back on the road. So we're going to be installing that. We have a few other good bits as well. This is a coil pack cover, and we have an oil cap as well. I'm going to start out by installing a new Dishworks 300 series fuel pump. It's going to be a nice complement to our Grady Turbo kit and make sure we have enough fueling where it needs to be. So I'm going to start on that. Ricky's going to start on the roll cage. We'll meet in the middle. Let's get into today's video.
To access the fuel pump, we need to remove a bunch of stuff from inside of the car and then in the trunk area. And I'm going to start by removing the seat, so let's get to it.
So what happened was I have to get to a service panel back here to access the fuel pump. And so we turn the key on, and I hit the roof button to make the roof go up, and the roof button to make the roof go up, and the roof did nothing. And I remember when we were driving the car, you have to have the e-brake up to get the roof to actuate.
Correct.
So I looked down to pull the e-brake handle, it's gone, because we converted it to electric.
Yes.
And so I'm like, oh, that's not it. So,
But me and Will thought about this and we tested it, which is why we added the relays and all that stuff. So we'll test it.
you already had it working.
We had it working, yes.
So then we started diagnosing it and realized that the button wasn't even plugged in.
Which means this came off again after me and him diagnostic. See, you know what you're doing. Alright, so right now Quinn is removing the brace that holds the fuel pump housing down, which is about 6 nuts. He's removing that. From there we'll be able to unscrew the fuel pump carrier and then take that off, and then the entire fuel pump carrier will come out. You will see us pull that out through here, and then he's gonna go to a table and replace the fuel pumps, and then we're gonna do everything again to put it back in the fuel tank.
Let's get this fuel pump swapped out. Just finished installing our DW300 fuel pump into our stock S2000 hanger. Really nice fit, a little bit of a tight fit. It is a bit bigger of a fuel pump that came from the factory, but we got it together no problem. So we're gonna get this thing back in the car, get it plugged in, hooked up, and then we won't have to worry about having low pressure or having an old fuel pump with our Grady Turbo kit.
Quinn and I just finished putting the fuel pump in, and it is time for us to tackle the roll cage. So the roll cage pretty much goes in the same location as the fuel pump. So everything that we took out, it was a good thing because they had to come out anyway. So Will and I are gonna grab this thing, grab it, well, and we're gonna put it in the car. So I have the driver front part of the cage done, and this is the easy part. Passenger side is going to be a bit harder because it's an unlevel surface, so I'm going to tackle that right now and see what I can do.
Come on, what are you doing?
So I've got our lower plate for the back arms in position. I'm just marking where the holes need to be. And then we're gonna take this plate off, center punch it, and then start drilling. So I drilled our rear holes underneath. I used a little plate to hold the rear arm in place. So we've got our holes where they need to be. Now I need to go in and oversize them. So we're gonna do that from the top because I have more room, and then we're gonna get this rear arm mounted. got all 4 of our holes drilled for the passenger side rear bar. So Ricky's gonna be on top putting bolts in, and we're gonna get this thing bolted down. And then once that's on, both of the rear arms will essentially be done, except they will be finalized. But that really gives Ricky the security for the main hoop to make sure he's cutting accurately. And when we modify that stuff, everything should fit where it needs to. So get this thing bolted on.
All right, Quinn and I just got done bolting all 4 corners down. The next step for me is to start cutting the one leg, mocking it to make sure it fits our floor, weld it together, paint it, put it back in for the last time, and then we can start working on the seats. Okay, so I made my cut. As you can see, it's sitting here fairly well. Next step, I'm gonna drill 3 holes. I'm gonna bolt it from the bottom plate. I'm gonna make the sandwich happen, how it's gonna be when we're done. At that moment, it's gonna give me the gap that I need so I can measure, see how much more metal I need to cut so I can add from here to there. Then we'll cut, weld, put it together, test it one last time, and from there, take it back out, paint it, and put it back together for the final time. Fuel Fest presented by Throtl. It's gonna be on June 3rd and we're all gonna be there. On top of that, we're taking all of our cars and the debut of the S2000 is happening. For that day, I'm gonna be making a special trophy for the person that travels the furthest to come see us. These are some of the parts I got to work with, and from here, I'm gonna get to work. To build this trophy, I'm gonna be using the Lincoln 225 Precision TIG machine. And this thing is pretty badass. So I'm gonna come down here, I'm gonna turn this thing on. Since I'm welding steel, I'm gonna go to DC negative. I'm probably gonna need about 135, somewhere around there. And then she should be ready to go. All right, so this is the body of our little guy. So the next step, I'm gonna try to design some feet. I really wanna use these springs and valves. So I don't know, maybe I should do like something like this. Maybe do dual. Ooh, I think the dual looks better. We're gonna add one final touch, and it's gonna be a spark plug and a bolt. So there it is, our trophy is complete. We know we have tons of fans all the way across the world. We want to see you there at Fuel Fest. So click on the link in the description below so you can save money on your tickets, and I'll see you there.
Next up, we have our hybrid racing S2000 shifter, and this one is extremely cool because we have the original S2000 hybrid racing shifter, like the pre-production one, on our EK. So it's cool to see this product as like a fully developed, market-ready product. There's a lot of really neat things about this kit specifically. Everything just looks absolutely beautiful. Everything's aluminum, everything's finished really nicely. It even comes with a little placard with a bunch of S2000 facts on it, which is really cool. Something I didn't realize until I was reading the installation guide is this foam section here that's part of the packaging is actually going to be used as a sound insulation for the shifter. So really freaking cool. Their packaging is incredible and everything about this product is really nice. So we're going to get this thing set up and installed, and I can't wait to feel it on our S2000. I just got the first few pieces of our shift kit in the transmission. We got our insulation foam that was part of the packaging, which is really cool. It's literally the perfect fit, which is really nice. So we're gonna go ahead and drop the assembled shifter in, get this thing bolted down. Shifter's fully installed, it feels amazing. It's such a nice piece on our Civic, and I'm really glad we brought it back for our S2000 build. I love this shifter. So we're done with it, I'm gonna move on. Next up, we have some engine bay dress-up bits. So this is an APR carbon coil cover. It's going to replace the factory Honda one that's a little bit scuffed up. We have a Hybrid Racing oil cap and a bunch of Downstar hardware. So these are for the valve cover. And this is a full F-Series dress-up bay kit. So this has timing cover hardware, it has valve cover hardware, it has intake manifold hardware, just kind of everywhere. So start knocking this stuff out. All right, we're finished up in the engine bay. It looks absolutely beautiful, and essentially we're pretty much done with the engine here. So we're gonna move on to the next thing.
I'm gonna grab our APR carbon fiber cooling panel, and that's gonna basically close off this area here, like so. But because we're working with an aftermarket part on top of an aftermarket part on top of an aftermarket part, we gotta do aftermarket things. And that means we have to trim this up just a little bit to make it work with all of our existing components that are coming together in one spot. So along with this, I also mounted our Grady AP2 Turbo Kit EIN number. Just finished up with our APR cooling panel. Did a few things while we're in here as well. We changed out all the factory hardware to Downstar, which looks a lot nicer once it's all buttoned up. We also put our JSP Fab radiator mounts back in, and we had to do a bit of trimming on the APR panel because of this Grady cooling panel for the turbo kit, and also this aftermarket Mishimoto radiator needed a little trimming around that. We did toss some thick foam between the core support and the radiator as well, just to seal that off completely and make sure that nothing's rubbing or scratching anything up. So yeah, I think overall it's a good look. Closes off that front area really clean and really gives a nice smooth look to the front of the engine bay.
Before I throw this hit in, I'm gonna reinstall our painted spoon mirrors, and they're gonna look just like so. It looks sick. Oh, look at this. Even the inside got painted black. Some blue mirrors. Looks sick. All right. Oh, I have to take the door panel out. Gotta do that first.
I gotta do some explaining here. We gotta call a little bit of an audible on this project, and it comes in the seat department. You know, we acquired a really nice set of Recaro Sportster CSs. This is my favorite seat on the market today, aftermarket seat for cars. I have these in my R32. I had these in my old Ric Flair wagon, and they're honestly one of the most comfortable, adjustable aftermarket seats on the market, in my opinion. What's really nice about Recaro stuff is Recaro is known for making a lot of the OE seats that are in a lot of these cars. In fact, these may even be Recaro chairs. I'm not sure. Our plan was to put these in the car. Now, we cannot do that because of a couple of things. We put them in the car, and normally we make something to make it work, but in this case, the floor pan on the right-hand side of our 2006 S2000 is quite different than previous models, and that was the research I had done. They actually added a couple couple tunnels into the right-hand side of the car. And what's gonna happen, because these seat rails and brackets need to be basically custom made, this passenger seat would end up sitting really high in the chassis, and I'm not comfortable with that. I really want the seats to match. And the nice thing about the car that we bought is they already had these really nicely upholstered red leather and black leather seats with gray stitching, and they're factory seat rails and brackets. So these things sit exactly where they need to sit in the car. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we're not going to be able to use these Sportster CSs from Recaro, unfortunately, in this build. This is one of the things I was really looking forward to, but because we have these really nice reupholstered factory seats, you know, it's okay. The situation isn't terrible. And I think these look great, and it also carries the red throughout the interior like we like. The other nice thing about the factory seat is that when Spoon designed the roll cage for these cars, I believe they designed it around being able to utilize a factory seat or a bucket seat. These fit in there nicely with the roll cage, and you don't lose a lot of the adjustability. That's the direction we're gonna go. Now let's toss these in the car.
We installed an electronic parking brake on this, and we are now utilizing a button right here where the defrost button was. But we have this huge void right here where the handle was, and we have nowhere to put our phone currently. So we measured and designed a 3D print. This is perfect for an iPhone 13 Pro. It's just gonna hold it off at an angle, easy to grab out, and it should just slide right into here. All right, a little bit of heat thrown at these, and we have resealed them, and they are ready to go back on the car. They have HID low beams with an upgraded bulb. We have LED heads now, and we have LED turn signal and running lights, and a brand new lens that is no longer smoked and cracked. Let's get these on. Ricky is finishing up tightening the right side headlight, and now it is time to turn on the keys to the ignition, test the turn indicators, the running lights, the low beams, and the high beams, make sure everything is still working before we get the bumper and everything else around it back on. Let's test them out.
Damn, you're right though. Look at this, look at this. It's so bright.
That looks sick. I love it. Let's get this bumper on, dude. So we have the front bumper back on, which is good. We left the carbon plate off because in the next episode, we're actually gonna take this thing for a drive. And as soon as we're done and confirm that it drives well, we're gonna recharge the AC. And the low side port is actually right here under the carbon plate, so it's gonna be a lot easier to just leave the plate off now and install it after the AC is working again. So get this thing tight.
That's gonna do it for today's episode. We got a lot done in this one. I set aside some time and got the headlights cracked open, put some new lenses on these old housings, and they look awesome. All the lights are upgraded. We also knocked out an awesome cell phone pocket inside of there for whoever gets this and drives it around.
That was really cool. The roll cage got put on. I also put the mirrors back on the car now that they're painted, and it looks amazing.
I got our new hybrid racing shifter installed along with our Beachworks fuel pump. This car is almost completely back together. Really, all we need is a set of wheels to go drive.
I know.
So we're so close. There's still a few things we're gonna be putting on the car, such as the wing, the hardtop, and a few other minor bits here and there. But as far as getting the car back on the road, we're just a set of wheels away. So stay tuned for the next episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, drop a comment down below on how you think this S2000 is turning out. Time is running out to get entered to win this Honda S2000 plus $20,000 in cash. Every dollar you guys spend at throtl.com is gonna get you one entry to win this car. So get your entries in, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah, nice. Nah, you already walked away.